as the second darkest Call of Duty after World War II. Sorry, as the darkest Call of Duty ever, which is said during World War II, there are bound to be war crimes depicted. So today, I'll be finding and revealing every war crime scene in the game. The last one is absolutely disgusting. I was shocked the first time I saw it, and that's crazy. So as some of you may know, the game literally starts off with a war crime. In the very first mission, you're tied up in a Japanese camp and you watch as your comrade have a pilot gets tortured with the cigarette to the eye and getting his throat slit. You as the player watches as he gets executed right in front of you. That's an immediate war crime right there. Prisoners of war are supposed to be kept alive and treated humanely, but here they are straight up tortured and killed. There are also ones at the back, if you can see them, getting tortured as well. This first cutscene sets the tone for the entire game and it gets worse. The second war crime we see in the game is from the mission Little Resistance, where the Japanese soldiers use suicide charges against Marines. Now technically that's not a war crime in itself, but there are ways the game shows them refusing to surrender instead of choosing to fight to the death. On top of that, you can see American forces torching bunkers with flamethrowers, burning soldiers alive. That's considered a violation of the rules of war because flamethrowers cause unnecessary suffering. When you switch over to the Soviet campaign, the first mission is Vendetta, where you're sneaking through a destroyed part of Stalingrad, where you see German soldiers shooting injured Soviet soldiers, and you literally watch as German soldiers lining up Soviet captives and shooting them with fire squad. This is a textbook war crime, executing prisoners and civilians who are unarmed. The mission makes you walk past the bodies to really drive it in. Reznov, your Soviet commander, pushes you to take revenge. The whole mission is about assassinating a German soldier, but throughout the campaign, Reznov makes it clear, no mercy. You see German soldiers being killed when they were surrendering. That's another war crime right there. Shooting soldiers who have already given up. Towards the end of the Soviet campaign in the heart of the Reich, the Red Army is storming Berlin. By this point, the Soviets are in full revenge mode. Reznov and the other commanders tell you to kill every German in sight, even once surrendering. You can see the brutality everywhere. The message is clear. Both sides committed war crimes. The immense force of the Soviet soldiers during their push through Berlin in 1945 made the German soldiers surrender. Due to the staggering loss the Germans and the Nazis were facing during the invasion of Berlin and Germany by the Soviets, Hitler ordered every civilian or soldier, the old, the young, and the weak, to fight for Germany. In the mission downfall, we can see injured Nazi soldiers still fighting. I don't want to say they were forced by their commanders or by Hitler himself and the German propaganda, but I'm also sure there were others who were pushed by internal forces like their will to fight for their own country. And for the last war crime, which I honestly didn't know was a war crime until this video, is at the beginning of the mission out of the Reich when you're storming Berlin with the Soviets. You can see German soldiers who have been hanged by their own side. Most of the time, these were soldiers who tried to desert or who refused to fight. The Nazis actually did this in real life. They would hang their own troops with signs on their neck like "I am a coward" or "I am a traitor to the motherland" to scare the others into fighting to the end. Yes, modern standards under the rules of war, executing your own soldiers without a fair trial, especially in brutal or humiliating ways, counts as an unlawful killing. Hanging them in public also violates human dignity. This is part of international humanitarian law. So yeah, it's not about glorifying the fight, it's about showing how ugly it really was. In case I missed any or you have any corrections, just drop them down in the comments. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe, and thanks for sticking to the end.